You can have yourself a photo like this and you can work your way up to more and more edits. Let's say that we wanted to, first of all, change the hair color. We can use the selection brush tool. We would just get ourselves a nice selection, but make sure that you also set the brush to 0% for the hardness. Once you've done that, go ahead and get yourself a selection of the hair and you can be generous with the area. Once you've got yourself the selection, go to the first tool, and then we're going to type in the prompt right here. So let's say change the hair color to a bright purple color. You can go ahead and select the model, which is of course going to be Nano Banana. A single variation, we don't want multiple because this is going to cost credits, and then we're going to leave this one unticked. Go ahead and press submit. Oh wow, that is actually really good. It still looks realistic. And it's definitely added some purple in there. Editing George here. I just want to make it very clear that this video was recorded before Photoshop has just recently announced that this has been added into Photoshop officially in the beta version. So in this video, I'm using the plugin version, but you can do all of these prompts within the official Nano Banana inside of Photoshop. And then now, if we want to, let's say, make this more cyberpunky looking, we're also going to change the background. In this case, we want to make sure that we select the bottom layer with the background, and then once again, select the subject. We're going to press Ctrl, Shift, and I to invert the selection and only select the background. And for the background, let's say that we want to have a back streets of a club with a rainy nighttime vibe, water puddles, and cyberpunk theme with neon reflections. Let's see what this will generate. That is really good. That is exactly what I was looking for. I like that. At number 13, we have color grading, or also known as harmonizing palette. Let's say blend this person or subject with a completely different environment and background into this scene. In this case, we can use Photoshop to remove background. It's nice and simple. And then just drag and drop the person right here. We're just going to scale the person down with the correct shortcut, not that one. Let's say right about here, possibly a little bit bigger. And in order for this to work and to not waste any credits like I have been for the past few times, you just want to go ahead and convert both of your layers into one. Make sure that the background is unlocked, otherwise it's not going to have access to that layer. You then want to select both of them, convert it to a smart object, and then now we can use the selection brush tool on a 500% for the size and 0% for the hardness. Get yourself a selection around the person. Just going to include that area and like so. And then we're going to type in this prompt right here, which will say blend subject naturally with matching lighting and shadows, full body in sharp focus, cinematic depth of field, seamless harmony between subject and environment. And let's see if this can do it. And yes, it's sort of done it. I mean, it's actually made, wait, what? It's actually included some lighting. It just did what it wants to do. At number 12, we have texture detail enhancements. So let's say that you've got yourself a photo of a dress and you really like the photo, but you just want to see what a different variation of that dress would look like, or a different pattern or design. In this case, just like always, get yourself the selection tool or the brush tool. We're just going to select the dress, go to the first tool, and then we're going to type in this prompt right here. Transform the dress fabric into an abstract red rose pattern, following artistic design, painterly brush stroke effect, modern and stylish, seamless across the folds of the fabric, vibrant but elegant, and let's see what this gives us. And wow, okay, this looks nice. At number 11, we have photo manipulation surreal edits. This one you can have some fun with, and let's say in this case we wanted to turn this puddle into lava. We can once again select the selection brush tool, get yourself a selection of this puddle, just make sure everything is selected, And then we're going to type in this prompt right here. It is called replace the puddle with glowing molten lava. You then want to go ahead and press submit. Whoa, it's kept the puddle but added some dramatic lava. At number 10, we have a composite collage effect. Let's say that we wanted to place him in a Wild West and then have a dramatic sky. We can select the subject. We can press Ctrl, Shift, and I to invert the selection. And then we're going to type in this prompt right here. The prompt is add Wild West town building and dramatic sky in the background. And let's see what this gives us. Once again, make sure your background is unlocked and then click on submit. Whoa, that is really cool. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now let's say that you wanted to be even more specific with this and you had your own idea on what you want the background or the sky to look like. In this case, what you can do, selecting the person, you want to select the subject. We're just going to once again invert the selection. And then this time we're going to go to browse and then we're going to select these other photos. Now that we've got ourselves the reference, once again, using the exact same prompt. At the moment, I cannot scroll down, so I just have to move this over to here. And then we're going to click on submit. Okay. It's sort of done its own thing here. It's included the person, but my God, the quality is terrible. It's not great. However, it has blended the images. Let's say that this fancy champagne bottle, you wanted to include your logo or branding, or you just want to change the text. We can just use the selection tool. We're going to zoom in, select this area, make sure you get yourself a nice selection, and then we're going to type in, replace the text with, and then add in your custom words. So in this case, let's say VerticDesigns, and then go ahead and click on submit. And there we go. The great thing about this, it will copy the exact same font, style, and everything. At number 8, we've got add or remove objects. You can now use Nano Banana instead of generative AI. And this time we're going to use the selection tool, selecting the shield and this area, giving it some space to work with. We're going to type in this specific prompt. If you want the exact same prompt, there'll be links down below in the description. So that's quite a big prompt. It's very specific. We're going to submit and let's see what results we get. Oh, that's a cute little wolf. Not as big as I expected, but it has done what we're looking for. At number 7, we've got the camera angle / perspective adjustments. What you can actually do in this prompt is you can type in this prompt right here. Reframe the image from a top-down view, 45-degree angle, man sitting on bench looking up at the camera. Keep all details the same bench, same clothing, same background. Just adjust the camera perspective to look cinematic and natural. Let's see what we can get with this prompt. And there we go. That is what we are looking for. At number 6, we've got facial expression tweaks. Press Ctrl or Command and A, and then just type in this prompt. This should automatically know what you're looking for. Oh, there we go. Wow, that is a really good result. It works better when you're selecting all of your image. You can alter and change the hair color and the style just by getting yourself the selection tool. Once again, make sure that you've unlocked your layer so there's no restrictions. Selecting the hair. You want to get yourself a good selection. And then we're going to type in a prompt of change the hair color to a bright blue color. And let's see what this will give us. Okay, that is really good. It's also blended the edges, so they are very hard to notice. But now let's say that we wanted to change the style. And let's say that we wanted him to have a buzz cut instead. Change the man's hair to a buzz cut. And then let's see if it knows what we mean by a buzz cut. Wow, it understood the assignment. It understood exactly what I'm looking for. And wow, that has really transformed this person's face. At number 4, we've got my personal favorite, and that is change the head angle / pose. What you can do in this case is instead of the black panther to be looking away into the distance, we could change it so that the panther is looking directly at the camera. We could just type in a simple prompt of change the black panther to look directly at the camera with a sharp, focused look. You want to unlock this layer, make sure you've selected, and then go ahead and click on generate or submit. And there we go. Look at how great that generation or variation is. Everything is just identical. We have all the patterns. We have the same look. Number 3, this is how to change and alter lighting, mood / time of day. We're going to completely transform this to nighttime. We're going to type in change the time of day to night. And then we're going to click on submit. Once again, make sure you are selecting the image, Control or Command and A, and then go ahead and submit. Whoa, it's even included the moon. I am so impressed. This is the before and after. Let's push this even more to the limits and let's make this more dramatic. Change the sky to a bright, colorful northern lights with lots of stars in the galaxy. Let's see if it can do this. If it can, then I am honestly going to be mind blown. Wow, that is amazing. I think it's a bit bugged out at the moment because it's already finished and it's created a completely different one. That is incredible. Such a simple little prompt has created this and altered this image. We've gone from, oh, we've even got 2 variations. We've got this one and that. Okay, so it has changed the tree. At number 2, we've got change clothing, color, style, and add items. In this case, let's say that we're happy with this photo shoot of this person, but we want to change the color of this hoodie. We can get ourselves a selection. Once again, making sure we unlock this layer and then get yourself a selection of this hoodie. And that will do. We're going to change this to, let's say, change the hoodie to a bright yellow hoodie. And then go ahead and click on submit. Oh, wow. Okay. I like that. It looks great. Let's say that we wanted to add something onto the hoodie. Let's say that we wanted to add in a white symbol of a lion head design onto the hoodie. Let's see if it knows what I mean by this. Oh, okay. It does know exactly what I mean. Not the type of design that we're looking for. We're looking for a side view. I wasn't very specific with this. However, we can work with it. Now let's push this even more to the limits and let's change the hoodie into a t-shirt. I'm very interested to know if it can handle this. If it can handle this request, I'll be very shocked and surprised. Okay, so we've got ourselves a selection. And then now let's say keep the color and the design, but change the hoodie into a t-shirt. Let's see if it can handle this request. It's changed the pose, but it has changed the hoodie into a t-shirt. And then finally, number 1 is change / remove a background. Now this one isn't crazy or mind-blowing because you can already do this in Photoshop. So as you may know, in Photoshop, to remove a background, all you need to do, press the simple button right here, and this will just remove the background. It will automatically unlock the layer, and there we go. The result is crazy. Now let's try this with Nano Banana and let's see how well it can do. Now that the background is unlocked, you can also switch the model in here to Photoshop's remove background or use a different one. We're going to get ourselves a selection of all of it and let's see what the result is. It's definitely removed the background, but it's put on a white background. So we do need to be more specific with this. Let's go back on this one. And let's try this prompt right here. Remove background completely, smooth, clean edges around subject, transparent background. Let's see if this does it better. Once again, make sure you get yourself a selection and then we're going to submit. By the looks of it at the moment, it is either restricted or it doesn't fully know how to create a transparent background. Instead of removing the background, let's say that you wanted to replace it. You can get yourself a selection of your canvas. And then in the prompt, you want to be very specific with your prompt. In this case, I've typed replace background with a sunny sunset scene at Miami Beach, vibrant warm colors, soft palm trees, in the distance, slight depth of field blur. So the skater girl remains sharp in focus, natural lighting, harmony with subject, and let's see how well this does. That is insane. That is so realistic and that is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm really happy with that.